Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffe Kennedy, author of Epic Fantasy Romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Ambrosia. Today is Monday, March 31st, 2025. I feel like I have to specify the year because I do know, keenly aware that I've been gone for a couple of weeks. So, thank you to those of you who checked in with me. Thanks to those of you who didn't also. It's appreciate both ways. And those of you who checked in very tentatively, with the great exception of my mother. But the rest of you were like, no pressure, but just wanted to see if you were okay. My mother was like, it's been 2 weeks. But I got sick. And yes, I'm sure there are those of you out there who are like, yes, we knew if you tired yourself out that much, you would get sick. Maybe that was a contributing factor. Who knows? But it was on Thursday afternoon, so not this Thursday, but the previous Thursday. I mean, I was feeling fine. I was feeling great, feeling good. It's kind of funny because when you get really sick like that, there ends up being like this before time and the after time. I was running errands and I went and bought some new makeup. I had to replenish a couple of things and I wanted a new lipstick. So, for those of you on video, I'm wearing my new color lipstick. But anyway, I bought several things. I bought like a new eyeliner and a new lipstick, new lip pencil, replenished a couple of things. And by about 4 o'clock that afternoon, all of a sudden I got chilled and like shivering chilled. And it's been a cool spring. And I've got this thing where in springtime I don't dress as warmly as I should. And I put it down to that. I was like shivering, and I even stopped and, like on my way home, got my bottle of wine and my favorite little dessert moon pie thing. And, uh, and I was still not feeling good and didn't feel like drinking wine. And that's one of those things that if I don't feel like drinking wine, something's wrong. And I took my temperature and it was 102.7. So I just like went from fine to major fever. Other than the fever, I wasn't terribly sick. I mean, or like didn't have a lot of symptoms. It just completely wiped me out. I slept pretty much nonstop for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it still took me like a week to recover. I just ended up taking most of last week off, with the exception of finishing Strange Familiar, which I guess I'm burying the lead, but today is Strange Familiar release day. Woohoo! So I was going to put up the cover, but you all have seen it. I'll put it on the show notes. So did manage to get that uploaded last week. Otherwise, I've been doing a lot of sitting still and reading and just trying to recover. And it made me realize this is the first time I have been sick with like a random bug since pre-pandemic. I did get COVID once, but it was long after I'd been vaccinated. And while it did wipe me out for a few days, it wasn't too bad. Whatever I got, was I hear there's a lot of things going around. Some kind of random flu bug. Nobody around me got it. So I don't know what it was. I don't know where I picked it up. But yeah, it was interesting to like have a full blown flu where I could tell I had not been vaccinated against this thing. And it was, wiped me out. So, yeah, sorry about that Friday morning when I was so sick. There was no podcast. I thought about doing one on Monday, and it would have been a whole lot of effort. And so I thought, no, I'm just gonna try to recuperate from this, go slowly. So that's what I've been doing. But really glad to get Strange Familiar out. Um, And then there's like this whole thing where it's like I'm putting on my makeup for the first time in whatever it is, 10 days? I had to count 11 days. So, first time in 11 days, I've put on makeup, and it was kind of fun to discover new makeup in my makeup drawer. I was like, oh, I remember the before times. Uh, yeah, so that's me. That's what happened. I've got like a little bit of a cough. It's not COVID. I tested for COVID. It's not that. So it was just some sort of random flu that decided to tap me on the forehead. Uh, those of you who I've already ordered my author copy, so those of you who've pre-ordered print copies of Strange Familiar, those will be coming to you soon. And now I am just going to be working on A Rose in the Mirror, the revision of that, and getting ready for a Polycon next week. A funny thing I wanted to tell you all, semi-random, but I have, like I said, this is like dropping off the face of the earth for 10 days. I have no idea, like what I told you. I don't know who we are, who am I, who are you? But this happened a few weeks back. I don't remember when. So my high school boyfriend, Kev, hi Kev, with whom I am friendly and so forth, had messaged me on a Saturday and said, "Hey, guess what? I'm at a wedding." And he was at a wedding of one of our high school mutuals there in Denver, and he was sending me pictures, and he was there with like one of my besties from high school was also invited to the wedding, and her husband, and it was entertaining to see these photos and everything. But he was telling me this story that just tickles me immensely. So there was this guy who was like in our mutual group. He was a year behind me, I think. Jeff Barry. Hi, Jeff. I made a note. In fact, let me actually make a note. That I do want to drop him a line to thank him for this, because apparently he was telling this story to all of them at the wedding. Jeff and I were primarily friends. I don't know if you could say we dated. I remember one very notable makeout session, but I'm sure all of that's not that important. Anyway, Jeff was looking at, I mean, who does this? Who does this, Jeff? Apparently, he was looking at like our high school Wikipedia page and saw that the notable alumni listed were all white male jocks. And so, in a valiant effort towards DEI, he added me because he's been keeping up with my career and so forth. And I thought that that was really lovely. So he added me, and they removed it, which annoyed him. So he added it back with more information, and they removed it again. So he added it for a third time, apparently with mad receipts, and this time it stuck. But there's some tenacity for you, and I was really just touched. I thought that that was super sweet, but I still haven't gone to find this Wikipedia page wherever it is. But anyway, that was really kind of a fun story. I feel like I should have more things to tell you. I was thinking about things as I was getting ready and so forth, but I'm probably just, yeah, a little bit behind. One thing that I discovered being sick, it really is kind of our body's way of saying, you will take it down. You will take this down a notch and you will relax. Is I realized how much I really love in the morning sitting in my reading chair, or once the weather gets nicer, I'm sure it'll be the grape arbor, and just reading for a while I drink my coffee. So Right now, I am reading. Like I said, I did a lot of reading, so that was nice. Right now, I am reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I have read before, but I'm reading it for my book group, doing a reread. It's interesting doing a reread. This book came out in 2014. I know I didn't read it when it came out, but it's still been a while since I read it. And it's always interesting to go back and reread a book. I really am impressed by V.E. Schwab's writing. It's very tight, very well done that way. I read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Uh, and I mean, I just wanted to read some stuff that was really tightly written. I read a couple of things by various people, none of which I was super thrilled about. So it was fun to read these. Sunrise on the Reaping, of course, is, uh, it's a Hunger Games kind of prequel. So it's not going to end up happily. Um, yeah, I thought it was well written. I didn't think it really added anything. I thought reading President Snow's book before this, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, was very illuminating and said a lot of very interesting things. I'm not sure Sunrise on the Reaping with Hamish's story, I don't feel like it really added to the world for me or added to the overall message. I liked it fine. It was a fast read, but I didn't feel like it really. It was fine. I mean, it was a very solid fine. Uh, Something that's been on my list, of course, forever. I think it has been even. I know it was on my list, and I did not talk about it on my most recent podcast. I ported it over. So this happened a little while back, but that someone messaged me on like an Instagram DM to ask if Never the Roses was clean or closed door. And I just, I think you all know that I really hate the term clean. So I appreciated that they at least tried for the clean slash closed door, but I feel like people messaging to ask that question, I assume they were asking because the ARCs are going out or, because of pre-ordering and so forth. And I just, I weighed what to say because, I mean, the answer is an easy and obvious no. It's not a tremendously spicy book, you know, as far as sexual content. It's um, nothing like some of the ones I've written as so far as length and detail of the sex scenes, but also I don't care. And I feel like people messaging to ask this question are in a way wanting to deliver their judgment. They want you to know that this is a consideration for them and for you to, that you feel like that it should have been clean or closed door. Clean. This house is clean. I always think of Poltergeist. Notably, she was wrong. She said that this house is clean, and it was not because of the Indian burial grounds beneath. But that's, I know, a distraction. Um, yeah, it's a weird era to me that we are living in, uh, where readers feel like they want this full informed consent before they go in to read a book. And there is this movement that's kind of persistent and I feel like connected with the Trumpism and this wave of, you know, reasserting Christianity and trying to convince people that we all need to abide by these ideas, that they should not, we've, accidentally go near something that might have sexual content. And it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be out in the world by yourself. If you can't, I saw somebody else, I think it was Kelly Armstrong, commenting on this on social media, saying, if you don't have the literary reading comprehension to understand when a story is heating up and skip that section, how we can't help you. Also, it's not going to contaminate your brain. I mean, this whole idea that like somehow you'll be contaminated if you accidentally read about sexuality, that it might, I don't know, taint your mind. It's like, well, maybe it would be good for your mind. Maybe the fact that you are so worried about this. But the thing is I think someone asking a question like this, they are not actually worried about themselves. Instead, they want to deliver a slice of judgment and say, I am checking to see if your book meets my standards, because if it does not, then I'm not going to read it. In which case, it's like, great, don't read it. Don't read my books. It is not the lever that people seem to think it is. It's like, yeah, vote with your dollars. Don't buy it. You don't want books to have sex in them, then yeah, don't put your money into books that do have it. But that's not where they're leaving things, right? They want to stop the rest of us from reading and writing it too. I did see where Emily Rath, who is not an author that I read, but I just because she doesn't write in genres that I normally write in, although I'm now following her on social media. She does a lot of hockey romance, which, doesn't do that much for me. But she's New York Times bestselling author. But she did this brilliant video takedown of a reader who contacted her and said, you know, not saying that they were a Trump supporter and not all of us are horrible, and to remember that she has readers who are Trump supporters too. And she did a great breakdown of that where she said, no, this is not a safe space for you. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are asking for that, who are Trump supporters and conservative Christian types who want to enforce their agenda on other people, and they insist that they are not bad people. They want to be known as being good people. They want to be forgiven and accepted into spaces because they've been told that they are the majority. They've been told that they're in the right. And I think that this persistent encounter that they are having with people coming back to them and being like, no, you are not in the right, and we do not agree with you, and you're not even in the majority. I think it's distressing to them. But that's where we are with things, that you cannot say that you supported what's going on and that you are not a horrible person. You don't get to be both things. If you support Nazis, literal Nazis, then Nazis are horrible and you are horrible. And that's just where it starts and stops. There's not any nuance there. So I won't continue to rant about that, but I was very supportive of Emily's video takedown of that. So welcome back, all of you. Welcome back, me. And I'm going to work on getting Rose in the Mirror out this week, and I will talk to you all on Friday. You all take care, okay? Bye-bye.